Shavua Tov. I didn't get to record this part 3 of my Dvar Torah about the Parsha and before Shabbat. And with the news we got, the terrible news, it in a sense reinforces my interpretation of Akedat Yitzchak. One thing I've been said and I wrote about on my blog, I remember years ago, was that it really bothers me that people take the translation of Akedat Yitzchak as the sacrifice as if he was killed. Now, as I look at the words, and I can get them again, but God didn't say kill your son. God said take your son, and I just had it a minute ago. All right. It said, again, it was a lech lecha, which wasn't a clear thing, just like with Abraham. Let's see. It doesn't say kill him. It says la'aleho sham le'olah. Now, as I saw it, and I see it, and I was going to say that God was asking Abraham to make sure his son is ready to sacrifice his private life, in a sense, to be a public person and to be a defender of this new people. And I was trying to explain it to others that it's very much like here in Israel when our children are taken to join the army and with a warm send-off, knowing that there's no guarantee that they're going to come back alive. And so this is also Li'ilui Nishmato, our young neighbor who died right before Shabbat in Gaza, Gilad Nitzan. And this is it. This is what the meaning is. God didn't say that everyone's going to be killed, but God is going to say that this is a price that we pay to be alive, is that we have to take these risks. It's not not living in a cartoon land. And what I had been meaning to say before I knew anything about Gilad was that I remembered reading not all that long ago about some very wealthy man, I think from California, an Israeli who had made Yeridah, and he thought his good life was in California, not here. And he donated a lot of money to something, maybe it had to do with lone soldiers. If anybody remembers the story, then please let me know. And he told people why. He said his son, who had grown up very wealthy and comfortable in California, had announced to him that he wanted to go to Israel to join the army and fight. And the man was terrified. He said, "No, you can't do that. It's too dangerous. Go to the best university. I have anything, any place you want to go." The son still insisted. The man said, "No, I can't have you do that. I'm going to get you the car." And so the son finally broke. And I guess you can guess the end of the story. Yes, the son was killed in his fantastic car that his father had bought him to bribe him to keep him from being in the army here in Israel. And the man realized that he had done a terrible thing, that if his son was meant to die, he was going to die. And if he thought that he was saving him by buying him a car and keeping him in California, he was very wrong. And there's a certain job that we have to do. You raise your children if you're in a position of leadership. Like Lavdil, the British royal family. You have the firstborns, especially if they're male, unless there are no males like the late Queen Elizabeth, who, from the minute they're born, it is known. The family makes sure they know, everybody, the whole world knows right now that they're going to be king. It took Charles almost 74 years to become the king. I mean, he's old enough to retire and he just started his job. He now has a son and a grandson, both firstborn males, even though the law changed, and if it's a female, she can be queen without having to wait for a younger brother. And their lives are not regular lives. They know that whatever they do, and William in waiting knew that he'd have to find a wife who could stand up to the pressure, because that's what he looked for. Everything has to do, when you have a job that you're born into. So for some people it's to be a king, and some people it's to be running some business, and for some it's defending your country. And whatever we have to do, we have to do. And that's how I always look at the Akedat Yitzchak, that Abraham was told, your son is not going to have an easy life. And Yitzchak didn't. He didn't choose his wife. She was chosen for him, because this was the wife who seemed most capable, even though they say she was a little girl when she was chosen, most capable to be the wife of a leader. And that's how he was raised. And right now, we live in a world where we have to defend our country. And when I see what's going on in other countries, and all the lies about Israel, and all the brainwashing, and all the fact that people really don't know the truth, and they're convinced this is, I'm going to say, without a doubt, we're in a time much, 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 much worse than Nazi time. It's, from what I've read of the history, this is worse than the Ku Klux Klan. They covered their faces. They didn't want their identities out. Most of the people demonstrating in favor of Hamas against Israel have no problems admitting who they are and showing who they are. They're not hiding. And Hamas is publicizing their brutality. It's not like the Nazis who tried to cover it up. Things are worse. And war is not easy. War is not simple. And there are, as I've been saying, there's no way of protecting any innocent Palestinian, first of all, Gazans, innocent? What is this? No war is done like that. You fight to win. You have to fight to win, because these are people who are proud of what they've been doing. This is the way they're raising their families. In what I said earlier about the Parsha, when I did it on Facebook Live, it's very much when Abraham was trying to bargain with God. What if there are 50? What if there are 40? What if there are 10? What if there are 5 innocent civilians? When he was going, and God said there weren't. And this is how we have to look at it. You can't worry about your enemies. You should only worry about yourself. That's it.